The red letter N unfolds into a spectrum of colors.
A Netflix original series. The following is an animated children's show. Bheem, a South Asian toddler, wears an orange diaper. Bheem rides an elephant, plays patty cake with a lion, and a baby cow sits in a nest on his head. Words appear. Mighty little bean, a flower for Mum. The sun shines outside Bheem's house in the country. Bheem's mum sits Bheem on a bench, then picks up a bucket. She walks to an animal hut. Bheem drinks milk from his bottle, then he puts his bottle down and claps. He crawls off the bench. In the hut, his mother pours water into a barrel for 2 cows. A chicken strolls across the grass, followed by baby chicks. Bheem crawls after the chicks and pecks the grass. The chicks fly away. Bheem sees them playing tug-of-war with a flower. The flower breaks and the chicks go flying. They sit dazed for a moment, then fly away. Bheem watches the flower fall to the ground. He remembers his mother wearing a flower in her hair. He smiles and crawls to the flower. He tries to pick it up, but the wind blows it into the air. The flower flies above the village. Bheem crawls along a dirt road after it. The yellow and white flower flies past trees and houses. It lands before a field of sunflowers. Bheem tries to grab it, but the wind carries the flower away again. He chases it past sunflowers. No baby sign is on the edge of a forest. Reindeer drink from a pond. Fluffy white bunnies with tall pink ears also drink the water. Pelicans stand in the pond. A lion looks through binoculars at the animals. He licks his lips and puts down his binoculars. He steps on some dry grass. A monkey on a branch blows a horn. The bunnies sit up. The lion sprints to the pond, but the animals run away. The lion jumps at a deer, but it hops out of his way. The floating flower lands on the lion's nose. The lion sneezes, and the flower flies away again. Bheem crawls over the lion to get to the flower. The lion stomps away, then turns back to Bheem. The lion sees him as a piece of crawling meat. The lion shakes his head, then leaps after Bheem. Bheem sits up when he sees a bunny eating the flower. Bheem appears angry, then crawls toward the bunny. The lion bounds after Bheem. The bunny runs away with the flower. Bheem chases it to its burrow and dives into the hole after it. Bheem gets stuck in the hole, and the lion runs up behind him and puts on a bib. He gets out a knife and fork. Bheem frees himself and crashes into the lion's snout. The lion looks around and sees Bheem flying toward the trees. Holding the flower, Bheem lands on a tree branch and slides down it. He lands on the ground with a thud. The flower is not in his hands. He looks up and cries. The flower is above him on a tree branch. A yellow bird flies off with it. Bheem crawls after it. The lion looks for Bheem. He peers through binoculars at a shaking shrub. Then the lion pounces, sending leaves flying. A porcupine runs out from underneath him. Lion hops up and down. Later, he pulls porcupine quills from his body. He rubs his bum. Lion pokes his nose through some leaves and sees Bheem crawling into a hollow log. Lion hops on the log and puts his paw in a hole. He pulls out a skunk. The skunk frowns, then sprays a green cloud in Lion's face. Bheem crawls out of the log and sees the flower up in the yellow bird's nest. Bheem crawls up the tree trunk and along a branch. Lion sees Bheem and tiptoes to the tree. Lion climbs after Bheem, then pounces on him. He grabs the boy in his paws. But Bheem pushes Lion back, then crawls over him. Lion hops in front of Bheem and holds up his paw. Bheem hits it with his hand. Then Bheem plays patty cake with Lion. Lion falls over and hangs from the tree branch. Bheem crawls over his paws. Lion falls down, hitting tree branches as he goes. He bonks a bee's nest. He lands on the ground and finds the bee's nest has fallen onto his bum. He runs through the forest with the bees chasing after him. Meanwhile, Bheem has reached the bird's nest. He grabs a flower and slides off the edge of the branch. He floats down to the ground holding the flower. He drifts back to his yard. His mother pets the cow and looks up when she feels a thump. Bheem holds out the flower, but its petals fly away. She takes the stalk from his hand and puts it in her hair. He giggles, and she picks him up and gives him a kiss.